Welcome to the Rock is George podcast. I'm your host, George Dionne. Be sure to check out my new and improved website, rockisgeorge.com, where you can find all our social media and streaming platforms, as well as podcast episodes, knac.com exclusives, album and show reviews, and much, much more. My guest for episode 237 is vocalist Lauri Ylonen of the Finnish modern rock act, the Rasmus. The Rasmus recently released their 11th studio album, Weirdo, through their new American record label, Better Noise Music. And here's Lauri to tell you more about it. If I knew absolutely nothing about the Rasmus, how would you describe the band's music to me?
Ooh, well, it's a rock band. I think we have a lot of melancholy in our music. It's melodic. I think I could say it sounds Nordic. It's the band has been around for 30 years, which is insanely long. We started in 94 when I was 15 years old, and kept going ever since. And now actually in a very good state. We have just signed a new record deal with American label, which is fantastic news. Better Noise Music, and we are hoping to work the States a lot more in the future.
That would be an excellent opportunity. And the first album that you're releasing through Better Noise Music is your 11th studio album, Weirdo, which comes out tomorrow, September 12th.
Right.
From what I understand, you started writing this album shortly after the release of your 2022 album, Rise. You co-wrote it with your co-producers, Desmond Child, who's known for his work with Kiss and Bon Jovi, and Marti Frederiksen, who's worked with Aerosmith and Ozzy, two great, phenomenal producers. Tell me a little bit about your songwriting sessions with them leading up to the Weirdo album.
Yes, I've been friends with Desmond for a long time. It's a kind of a miracle that we came together, and I'm able to work with a legend like him. Because I was a fan of his music, obviously, when I was growing up, when I was just a little child. But I think I learned all my tricks from his songs without knowing that he was involved. And then later in life, he heard my song. Maybe he heard himself in my music. I don't know. But he contacted me, and we've been friends since 2007. But this time around, there was Marti Frederiksen too, who's amazing dude, and we wrote songs in Greece, which has become like a tradition for us to go every summer to basically write songs, but also just enjoy the beautiful, harsh nature of the Greek island of Folegandros, and we recorded the album at Marty's studio in Nashville. Really nice. After, working the last album during the COVID times and trying to record stuff at home, sending files all over the place. And now we could go to a real big, beautiful, good old studio. And so we really enjoyed that time. And we stayed, the whole band, in Desmond's mansion. He has a guest house, so the band could accommodate there. We would always have breakfast together, talk about the next day, and talk about the songs, and rewrote the lyrics over the coffee, and good stuff. I'm really happy. The album is really one of the best, maybe the best one we've done so far, and I think it really, sounds like us, but updated version, 2025.
And I have to say, there is a difference between an album that's recorded at home, file sharing back and forth, and an album that's recorded in the studio by some professional engineers and producers and what like that. And I think that comes out sonically in your album. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, these guys are one of the best guys. Plus, they know guys who are really good. Like, we could have all the best of each world to work on this album. You know, we had mixer guys from different countries. You know, we were able to do stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just really grateful that I can be in the middle of all that. You know, because I always consider, maybe I'm too humble, but I consider us being like a kind of a small band. And then Desmond, you know, I'm always thinking like he could choose whoever he wants to work with. You know, like he is like a living legend. You know, and so, but you know, he really likes me and our band. He wanted to work with us long time ago, almost 20 years ago, and you know, he's kind of more than just a writer buddy in my life. He's also like my daughter's godfather, and you know, I've spent a couple of Thanksgiving dinners at their table, and you know, like I'm kind of in the family too, and which is nice. You know, he's kind of my mentor.
Good to have, and kind of this
Yeah,
in the music industry, especially someone that's waded those kind of swampy waters before.
yeah, yeah.
Now, thematically, Weirdo kind of champions for the outsiders, those people that feel they don't fit in what is considered normal society. The first Rasmus album, Peep, in 1996, also kind of touched on these themes. Do you think that it's strange we're still dealing with this type of judgment of people that allegedly fall outside the norm 30 years later?
Well, it hasn't changed much. I mean, sometimes I feel it's gone even worse, like with social media and everything. Like you know, at least the bullying is like got on the next level because like it's not only happening at school. I'm talking about young kids, or maybe at work too. But like I'm thinking of like teenagers at school. Then you go home from school, you know, it continues on, you know, on the WhatsApp groups, whatever you stuff you're using. Like, it's just like, it's so bad, and people can be so mean and evil with their comments, you know. Even I know that, like, I try not to read too many comments. Like, I think I'm just too sensitive artist. Like, I don't want to ruin my day and try, you know, start thinking like maybe I should change my, you know, style, whatever. Like whenever we put stuff out there, I'm already kind of gone into the next thing, and like, you know, I have to protect myself from that. But I think when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, when we started the band, I was often called a weirdo and freak, and you know, like because of the way I looked. And then later, obviously, I found people like me who became my bandmates and my best friends. You know, I think we were like 15 people in our school, like dressed up in a similar funny ways and like had crazy hairstyles and makeup and whatnot. Um, and then I think now we sort of wanted to bring that word back. Like, you know, we've done pretty good for being weirdos. You know, like we've played 30 years of music. I've traveled 72 countries with my band. You know, like we just played a charity concert in Ukraine for 60,000 people and donated 700,000 euros for a children's hospital. You know, that's pretty heroic, you know, in a way. Like, it's good from a weirdo like me. So sort of we want to bring it back. I mean, the word, we want to make it a positive one instead of an insult. That's the idea.
Absolutely. Tell my son all the time, not everybody's going to like you. Find those people that are like you.
Yes.
Uh, you have you have a couple songs out ahead of the album. Why don't we talk about them? Tell me what inspired the song "Creatures of Chaos."
Oh, well, that sort of falls in that weirdo category as well. Like, I'm sort of making a list of all the weirdos and freaks out there. Like, you know, you're just like me. come with me, let's have a good time. It's almost like a fun song, but also there is a statement, like there is a message in the song. And I think I was kind of thinking of the movie The Joker, where he's like at the end of the movie, he's standing on the top of the car, and like, you know, all the crazy dudes and the villains and all the outsiders and the, you know, the outcasts come to him and they unite. And there's something beautiful in that. Like, it's a bit violent, but it's also very emotional and like heartbreaking, and it's a sad story. This movie touched me, and so yeah, that song is kind of inspired by those moods.
How did the little kitty cat get on the cover of this single?
Yeah, well, I think we always like to play with the opposites, and this time, like, putting the cute and the evil together is like something I just love a lot. Like, in my twisted mind, I always think it's really nice, like, doing something like that. So I mean, we've always played with that kind of, you know, light and dark and, you know, whatnot. It's just maybe something that happens in my head. Like, I have this dark side sometimes pulling me down, and then I have to fight it and get the happy, you know, the goofy, silly guy to take over my body. And actually, I think I'm quite like positive person, but I also have those moments and days and weeks that I can totally just be really sick, and you know, that is life. But I yeah.
I think more people should admit to that. That, you know, you can
Yeah,
be positive, you could be negative, you can have weird thoughts, you can have normal thoughts. It's just human nature.
it is, because we're living in a scary world. There's like a lot of things that might cause these things, like to start thinking about, like, you know, dark thoughts, and like, you know, some people can't even do it alone. I mean, I have to talk to a doctor sometimes. That's fine. I'm not ashamed of it. Actually, it's like I've said it before, because I think maybe in Finland, especially, not so much in America, but in Finland, it's more almost like a shame, like, oh, you know, like he can't handle it alone, like he's weak or something. You know, I think it's almost become like a trend, like, or something in America, to say my therapist says, like, you know, like, and it's cool. Like, it's like same as you have a personal trainer, you go to the gym. It's just somebody who can just like help you a little, you know.
I think in America, men are still under that pressure of, you know, admitting they need to talk to someone, and by their peers think that they're weak by talking to someone, or they're weak because they can't handle something emotional. I think that's still kind of an issue here in America.
Okay, yeah.
Another song that you have out is Rest in Pieces. Why don't you tell me the inspiration behind that one?
Yeah, that was like the last song that came about. I think almost everything was finished, like mixed and everything. So I was still in Nashville. Um, Something happened between me and my old best friend, that he betrayed me, and I was really, really sad and pissed off, obviously, about this. A lot of emotions. And then I woke up one night and I started writing this song, and it sort of happened right there in front of my eyes. And I actually thought it was such a good idea, so I was thinking, okay, I have to get this on the album somehow. And then I started recording my own vocals to this demo, and then I made it as good as I can. I'm not a very good producer, but you know, I had a very clear vision, like where this song should go and how it should be. And so I took the production almost to the end by myself, and I was really proud of that. And then I played it to the band and the label, and said, like, okay, one more song, Are you ready? And there it is now. Actually, it was the first song that we released as a single. So you never know. I think it's nice to give some space to do something like that spontaneous and like, have room to improvise at the sessions because it's inspiring to be recording a studio, especially now we were in Nashville and the music capital, and we had a good time there also after the days in the studio. Went to see Kiss play one night and like having drinks and like feeling that that Nashville thing. So yeah.
The third single you have out is Love is a Bitch, and I think that a lot of people can relate to that one, not just weirdos. Why don't you tell me what inspired that particular song?
Oh yeah, that's a relationship song. It's kind of about cheating, and unfortunately, that can happen sometimes. And like, I think we all who have tried have had some difficult times with love, and like it's very common. I think that is maybe the poppiest song on the album, and we were all almost about to drop it because I was thinking like, I don't know if this fits the mood of the rest of the album and like that. But then we worked it a little bit. We made it slower and like added some like lower guitars and like amp. The guitarist, she also sings sometimes now in the band, and she started singing answers in the chorus parts, and it got better at the very end of the sessions, and then we're like, okay, let's put it on the album. And now I'm really happy because, again, like I said before, I have this dark side of me, but I also have that that kind of goofy dude who is like maybe more present in that song, and it's fun for the fans, especially who follow us more carefully, like, because they know like that I'm like that. I have good days, bad days, and they know to expect that already, and it's good to show the full 360 that what's happening in our little minds.
As you mentioned earlier, this Weirdo is your first album for Better Noise Music. How did you end up signing with the label?
Well, they just contacted us. I made a wish. I said aloud 5 years ago, like, I want to conquer America, no matter what. I live in America. Why can't I play shows here? Now I live back in Finland, but I lived 11 years in the States. So I was like, why do we never come here to play shows? This is so wrong. And I met people on the streets in LA and like all over. They were always like, oh my God, are you from the Rasmus? When are you coming to play here? It's like, well, I don't know. We don't have a label here. And like, so we knew that we have a lot of fans there, like, because now music can reach all over the planet without even touring there. So statistics tell us like with a lot of people eager to join our concerts, and it's a wonderful thing. We just played a small tour this spring in May, supporting a great American band called The Funeral Portrait. And we played mostly on the East Coast this time, but it was so good to be there, and we felt like we should come back as soon as we can. And this year is kind of booked. We are playing in Europe, and we are playing Mexico and somewhere else, but I hope early spring next year we'll be able to come there.
Was this last time you were in the US your first time playing in the US?
No, it was the time before. It was 16 years ago.
Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. What a waste of time. Well,
Well, Better Noise Music has put together this fantastic box set of Weirdo. I saw you unbox it on social media. It's got so many bonuses in addition to the CD and the LP. Did you have a lot of hand in that too?
Yeah, yeah, we like to be involved in everything we do. You know, if it's artwork or videos, we've been basically writing the scripts for all the videos, like styling, everything. It's just fun, you know, to that it comes from us. Who else would know better than us, you know? So we have people helping us to put it together. You know, we have a stylist, but I think I sent him like 100 photos. Like, this is the look I'm after. Like, can you find me this kind of, you know, like, and so I'm in a very good situation because I get to do all the creative stuff. And then I have these people who are mega talented to help me to finish my vision the best.
That's good. You
Yeah.
mentioned earlier your charity concert in the Ukraine that was on July 19th as part of the Atlas Festival. 60,000 people in attendance. What was this like for you emotionally?
It was pretty hard. I mean, obviously, there's a war happening, and we were quite like boldly making a big deal out of it. Like, okay, we are going to headline this festival, and we're going to support show our support to Ukraine, and so I was a bit worried, like, what if something happens? But honestly, when we got on that stage, it was just pure joy. People were so happy that, you know, they had something else to think about for that 1 hour, you know, because the day before, we also spent the day before there, and we had a airstrike. You know, there was a bombing, 300 drones in the sky, 13 missiles that night. We slept in a shelter in Kiev all night. It was like the bombing came in 3 different parts. So basically, all night staying up and like looking at the phone because we could see in real time like what's happening there, and you know, it's like unreal. Really was scary and unreal. Like, this is everyday life for these people.
Was there stuff like, could you hear stuff like that going on during the concert?
No, the concert day, which was the day after the bombing, or the yeah, there was nothing. We could play without interruption, um, and the festival was also happening on the day before when the bombing started. So they actually had to evacuate the whole crowd that night, on that Friday night, and they evacuated the whole crowd into a basement, like a parking, at the this shopping mall that was like next to the place. So this is the only festival the government allows them to have. You know, it's not easy to obviously do something like this, but because it was a charity thing, and you know, so they gave the permission to do it. So, but I think what is so like crazy, like, if let's say somebody like 16 years old in the audience, first, like, you know, when they were 10 years old, COVID started. Then COVID's over. War. Boom, boom. Like, what kind of youth is that? Like, they haven't seen a normal day, you know, in their like lives. It's so sad. And so I think for many of these, especially younger kids, this was the first time they got to go to a festival. Or so they were so happy. So it wasn't only drama and tears, you know, it was also hope and joy, man, joy, and like um and like something like, it was really interesting to see, and good to see the spirit of the Ukrainians being so strong. I hope it holds because, you know, I can also see that they're getting tired. You know, it's been going on so long. So Yeah.
Little bit of light in the dark kind of helps steal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rasmus, you mentioned heading out on a tour. Actually, you're heading out tomorrow, the day the album comes out. You're going to be in Finland, Greece, Germany, UK, France, Mexico. What can fans expect at these shows?
Yes, we are going to kind of celebrate the whole career in the way that we play songs from not every album, but like from the whole time we've existed, and then obviously the hit songs and focus on the new songs too, because we want to present this new Rasmus. I think we have been able to renew ourselves and refresh the sound and update it to 2025 in a pretty good way. And also we have Ep.237 as the new guitarist. She joined us like 4 years ago already, but this was the first album she was like there from scratch, and I think her presence has changed the band for better, and she kind of brought back the joy of playing and just being. It was like we were in a old toxic relationship before, and now it's a new one, so it feels like, yeah.
2026 is going to be the 30th anniversary of your debut album, Peep. Do you have any special plans to honor that anniversary, a re-release, a special show where you play the whole album?
Oh, we should do something like that. We honestly haven't thought about it. My mind has been just kind of on this album and stuff that happens right now. So, but that's a good idea. I mean, it's a huge number, and yeah, I think next year we'll be mostly touring though, just like touring.
So before I let you go, I wanted to know where you came up with the name, the Rasmus.
That's in Finland it's like a boy's name, but when we picked it, we didn't think about it like that. We just wanted to find a word that had like that strong sound, that energy, and that rawness to it. Like R is always good. Something that ends with S always made me feel good for some reason. I don't know, but I used to like a band, or we used to listen to Primus, American band, and that word always Primus. There was something about it, and so Rasmus is kind of close.
Those are all the questions I have for you today. The new Rasmus album is Weirdo. It's coming out on September 12th through Better Noise Music. Great album. I wish you the best of luck with it, and I want to thank you for taking the time to speak more about it today.
Thanks so much. It was nice chatting with you.
Once again, I want to thank Lauri Ylonen for coming on the Rock is George podcast. Be sure to check out the latest album by the Rasmus, Weirdo, out now through Better Noise Music. Head over to your favorite streaming platform, take a listen to the album. If you like what you hear, buy a physical copy, support the artist. For all things The Rasmus, head over to their official website, therasmus.com. I also want to thank Amanda Kagan of SROPR and Better Noise Music for making this interview possible. You've been great. I've been George Dionne. Discover your next favorite artist on the Rock is George podcast.